Well, Erik and Lyle Menendez could soon walk free. The brothers will have their first ever parole hearings today and tomorrow. Now, you'll remember they spent nearly 30 years in prison for the 1989 killing of their parents, Kitty and Jose Menendez. Defense attorneys argued the brothers acted out of self-defense after years of alleged sexual abuse by their father. In May, a judge resentenced Erik and Lyle to 50 years to life, making them immediately eligible for parole. For more on this, we're joined by Nieves. She's a criminal defense attorney and the founding attorney of the Nieves law firm. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. First off, I want to ask, how will these parole hearings actually work, and what arguments do we expect the brothers to make?
Good morning. So, how it works is they will have the opportunity to present evidence of their rehabilitation, their character while they were incarcerated. They're likely going to address their parole reentry plans. So, if they are released, what are their plans? Do they have a support system? Is their family in their corner? What are their community ties? And do they have a place to go? They're also going to address their age and how they behaved while they were incarcerated. So, were they rule abiding or were they rule breaking? We all, are pretty much aware that they did not have any additional violent infractions while they were incarcerated. So the board is going to consider all of that information. They're going to consider their risk assessment, which was moderate, and then from there make a provisional decision about whether or not release should be granted.
So, Joanna, if the Menendez brothers are granted parole, what would happen next?
So, if they're granted provisional release, it's going to go under review by another department. They have another 120 days to make a final decision. And then, because this was a murder conviction, it's going to be elevated to the governor. So, Gavin Newsom will make the final decision about whether to affirm this or send it back or really approve the decision that the board recommended.
Now, I want to ask about this also. Erik and Lyle have also been pursuing a bid for a new trial, and this is separate from the parole hearings. Can you explain that, and where does that stand right now?
I think it's one of those things where it's like not so much throw spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks, but you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So they were successful with their resentencing. They went from a life without parole conviction to a 50 to life conviction, and now they have this opportunity to be released. But if they're denied parole, this can be set out for 3, 5, 10, 15 years before they're up for parole again. So in the meantime, they want to pursue other avenues of relief that might be available to them and base that on new evidence that may have been obtained that give them the ability to seek a new trial.
All right, we'll continue to follow this case. Joanna Nieves, thank you so much.
Thank you.